Greetings of the day. My name is Lakshman Jajudi, Assistant Professor, GS College of Commerce, Wardha. In the earlier video lectures of Business Finance Second, we have discussed about capital market, money market, and the financial market in India. In earlier videos, we have also discussed about, or we have get to know an agency who is responsible for regulation of this market or financial market in India, which is also known as SEBI, that is Securities Exchange Board of India. One way or other in our academic career, we also have read or heard about SEBI as an organization which works for the welfare of the investors and financial market in India. Now, in this lecture, we would start our discussion on the SEBI and we would get to know about what is SEBI, what is its composition and organizational structure, and what is the role of SEBI in development of financial market, particularly in India. That is what is our objective or learning objective for this video lecture. So let's begin with the introduction of SEBI. SEBI was set up in 1988 to regulate the functions of securities exchange in India. But what happened that it was initially left as a watchdog to observe the activities, as no particularly powers were assigned to it eitherly by any kind of statute or law. That is why it was only having and functioning as an watchdog to only monitor, to only see the activities of the stock exchanges or financial market. But when it was found that the establishment of SEBI was turning ineffective in regulating and controlling stock market and its transaction, there comes the necessity to give more powers so that SEBI should be able to exercise complete control over the Indian stock exchanges and its various transactions, so that there would be more confidence among investors with regard to the stock exchanges and with regard to the financial securities in financial market in India. That is why, as a result, in May 1991, it was granted a legal status when Parliament passed the SEBI Act, which makes it corporate body with separate legal existence and perpetual succession. It has a separate legal existence and it is an autonomous body. With this, it also has a perpetual succession feature, which we have learned when we were learning about the joint stock companies, that whether the present members are there or not, still the company is going to run. That is why the SEBI came into existence to control the transactions of stock market, to eliminate the illegal activities or unfaithful activities from the stock exchange and its transactions. But we would have a brief history before the establishment of SEBI. What happened that Indian markets start developing, and with the growth of dealing in the stock exchanges, there also comes various malpractices and lot of unfair trade practices are going to happen in the stock exchanges, and which result in the loss of small investors or the investors. That is why there comes the necessity to have an agency who could look after all these issues. Similar with this, before the dematerialization of any shares, it was again problem that there was delay in the delivery of shares. Similarly, there were violations of rules and regulations in the stock exchanges. Listing requirements were not properly followed, and to overcome all these things, or due to all these things, people start losing confidence in financial market in India. That is why government has decided to set up such a nodal agency which would safeguard the interest of investors in the Indian market, because it is quite necessary to have the confidence of our investors in the market, because they are only the responsible person who would look after the growth of the market. That is why with the uh, growth of the market, there comes the necessity to have a independent agency which has power to control the transaction and exercise the steps essential for the development of the financial market. That is why SEBI came into existence. Then it performs basically three main functions. That is quasi-legislative, it means drafts regulations; quasi-judicial, conducts investigation and enforces action; and quasi-executive, it passes rulings and orders. These are the three main functions, or these are the three main criteria which SEBI has to follow, so that they would properly govern the activities of stock exchanges and the transactions in the stock exchanges. That is why SEBI came into existence. This was the background for which SEBI has came into picture in the year 1991, though it was set up in 1988. With this, we also have to understand that during the period of liberalization, when our economy was opening up, similar at that point of time also we have seen that various scams has happened in the stock exchanges. Even for controlling these kind of activities also, SEBI was formed so that the confidence of the investors could be restored in Indian markets. Now moving to the organizational structure of SEBI. When we say about the organizational structure of SEBI, there is a long what we can say body of SEBI, or there is a various people who are involved in the SEBI board. But out of all these members, 9 members are quite important. The first member, who is important one, that is the chairman of the SEBI board, who is appointed by Government of India. Second is the 2 members who are officers from Union Finance Ministry. Another member is from Reserve Bank of India, that is our central bank, Apex Bank in India. Then 5 members are again appointed by the Union Government of India, out of which 3 are the whole-time members of the board. This is the short and important composition of what we can say the members on the SEBI board. First is chairman, appointed by Government of India. Second is 2 people are appointed from are officers from Ministry of Finance. 1 member is from Reserve Bank of India. Fourth, 5 members are again from the Union Government of India. We have to see that out of all these members, we have a representation from government also, we have a representation from Finance Ministry also, and again we have a representation from Reserve Bank of India also. All these bodies or all these organization institutions are quite important when we say about the financial structure in India, and for policy framing of the financial things in India. That is why all these people, all these bodies has representation on the SEBI board. Now moving to the other part of organizational structure. Next is the SEBI work as an corporate sector company. Though it is an government body, autonomous body with the powers given from government, still it acts as a body of corporate sector. Its working style is quite different from other companies. Then initially its activities were divided into 5 departments. Now the list has increased from 5 to 20 because it has various things which they have to control, and that is why the what we can say the number of departments has been increased from 5 to 20. Each department is headed by an executive director. We all know that SEBI has its headquarters or its office in Mumbai, that is its head office. Apart from that, in another 3 metropolitan cities, it has branches, that is Delhi, Delhi, Kolkata and Chennai. Here it has branch offices also. Apart from this, SEBI has also formed 2 advisory committees to deal with primary and secondary market in India. These committees consist of market players, investor association and eminent persons from the market. Again, we have to look that the members of the committee has also representation from every segment of the market. It has investors, it has market players, it has eminent persons from the market. So it means that they are trying to make a proper composition in the market. That is what is the organizational structure of SEBI. Then moving to the role of SEBI in the development of Indian financial market. When we see about the work that is done by SEBI or the reforms which are made by the SEBI, we can say that it has been marvelous things which the SEBI has done for the development of the Indian financial market. Now we will start discussing it. The very first is the role in the primary market reforms. We all know that primary market reforms were taken by SEBI so that they could remove inadequacies and deficiencies while with regard to the issue procedure of the IPO of shares or issue of debentures also. Now we can see that there is complete transparency. All the information with regard to the issue of shares or debentures has to be clearly mentioned in the prospectus of the company with regard to the all material facts and figures, along with the risk factor associated with the company. The everything has to be clearly mentioned in the prospectus of the company, which is an important document. That is what is the major reform which has been taken by the SEBI. When we speak of secondary market reforms, again SEBI has done a very good work and it has a vital role in doing the reforms in the secondary market also. With regard to the very first reform which SEBI has done is to bring efficiency in the secondary market. Even though SEBI has also laid down different rules and regulations with specific rules and regulations for the intermediaries like brokers, sub-brokers, financial institution, NBFC, merchant bankers, portfolio managers, underwriters, registrars, so that there would not be any kind of misconduct from any of them to safeguard the interest of investors who usually, apart from IPO, trade in only in the secondary market. We have already discussed what is primary and secondary market. We have said that all the new shares are always issued by a company in the primary market, and later on after issuing the share, the investor can trade that share in the secondary market. That is what is the distinguish we have made between the two. So in the secondary market, usually investors are responsible for trading of AI activities, and that is where the SEBI has taken multiple reforms so that there would not be misconduct with any investors. Then speaking on the modernization of stock exchanges, earlier what we have seen that even though you have seen in certain video or some kind of thing that earlier the trading on the stock exchanges goes on the floor trading. There was calling system which usually happened here there, but now what we can see that there is complete modernization in all the stock exchanges in India. SEBI has issued the complete entire operations of stock exchanges in India through computerized system. Stock market are now 100% computerized. That is what is the system which has been modernized in the stock exchanges. Even though all the stock exchanges are now online, which has helped the investors to trade across from any part of the country or from anywhere in the globe. They can trade with their registered brokers on the stock exchanges through their computers, through their mobiles, through their laptops. Even though we can see that many developed countries still does not have that much amount of computerization or modernization on their stock exchanges what SEBI has in India. And the larger part is that all the 23 stock exchanges have reduced its cost by using this modernized technique or by this modernization. That is the great role of SEBI. Here the SEBI has played a great role in reducing the what we can say on floor trading and moving to the modernization of stock exchanges and making all the things online. Then is the dematerialization of the shares. When we speak of dematerialization of shares, so I would give a brief history on the dematerialization of shares. What we can say that in around 1996, Government of India has introduced the depository system in India, and the major national agency for this depository system was NSDL, National Securities Depository Limited, and there were number of depository participants who were included in it. The aim behind introduction of the dematerialization concept by the government was to go for the paperless transactions in the stock exchanges. But as usual, we were very slow for adoption of the changes, and the progress, that is why, was very slow. Later on, SEBI came into the picture, and it issued an compulsory element by making dematerialization of shares compulsory for trading in the stock exchanges. Thing is, things changed drastically by this what we can say criteria of the SEBI, and immediately all the company has moved towards the trading of the shares by dematerialization of the shares. But we cannot say that SEBI has done all the things in just one day. Rome was not built in a day. That is what the thing is. It takes various phases to for shares to turn into dematerialization, because there was a huge volume of transactions as shares were traded daily on the large scale. That is why at present, even though more than 50% of the shares which are traded on the stock exchanges are on the demat form, still it was SEBI who has moved this criteria to this limit. Otherwise, these things were going on very slow pace. With this, what has the positive impact of this role of SEBI in making the things on the dematerialization is that the foreign institutional investor, that is FIIs, has greater confidence, or they have because of dematerialization of share, they became encouraged to invest in our country, because the fear of fake or forged securities, shares, and bad deliveries get eliminated from them. They came to know that now the delivery will be properly on time, as the shares were in the dematerialization form. There were no paper shares or any kind of security. That is why they were quite sure that the securities which they are purchasing are not fake or any kind of forged. That is what the important role of SEBI for attracting foreign institutional investors, that is FIIs. Next is the internet trading. The another thing which, when we say about the modernization of the stock exchange, is that the SEBI brought down the internet trading in the stock exchanges by order routing system, that is ORS, on which registered brokers can act on behalf of their clients for the purpose of sale purchase of the securities. This has facilitated buy and sale of securities without any kind of foundation of the geographical limits or any kind of physical presence at anywhere. Even though you can, nowadays we can have various applications, we can have various software in our mobile from where we can easily trade. That is what is that internet trading, which is been introduced by the SEBI. Then is the derivatives trading. Again, SEBI has introduced derivative trading system in the securities in secondary market in India. That is again been the result of the modernization of stock exchanges, as a result in allowing the derivatives trading in India. Along with that, there is cash market, that is money market, forward market, Badla system also. This is all because of the efforts of the SEBI. Then is the problem solving of investors complaint, or solving investors complaint. The main objective of the SEBI behind its establishment was to safeguard the interest of investors and having fair transactions in the stock exchanges. Every year, more than 2 lakhs complaint has been received by SEBI from the investors on different things, from issues like regarding to transfers, regarding to non-receipt of interest, dividend, share certificate, dividend certificate, etc. But SEBI, even after these huge amount of complaint, SEBI is at present solving more than 90% of its complaint, and this is the great what we can say score, because the number of complaints is quite high, and again they are solving it in such a great percentage. Even though in future SEBI hopes to remove all the kind of complaints with regard to any kind of shares or debentures, as the again we would move to our fourth point, as the dematerialization of shares would be done 100%, automatically the number of complaints would also be reduced because of this demat form. Then is the last role of SEBI in safeguarding the interest of investors by using various safety measures. SEBI, for this purpose, SEBI is always working for the interest of investors, for safeguarding their interest for investors. For that purpose, SEBI also has guided stock exchanges in India to set up investors protection fund and trade guarantee fund, so that the investors can be educated from these fund or can be protected, or the interest of the investor can be safeguarded. With this, and SEBI is in continuous what we can say continuous putting effort, so that there would be less issues related to the bad deliveries or related to the trade settlement. Even though it has been made obligatory to every banker to make payment within 21 days, even if there is a bad delivery, so that investor would not lose their money in any criteria, whether it is in case of redemption of shares, buyback of shares, or any kind of thing. The SEBI is continuously working for the safeguarding the interest of investor by adopting various security measures. In the next lecture, we will look after various functions of SEBI and the else part with related to the SEBI. Until then, stay tuned. Thank you.